Hello, my name is Paul Stewart and I'm on the Heathrow Express on my way to Heathrow as I'm about to fly to Helsinki with Finnair on their Airbus A320 in their business class product. Now I've already flown in the A330 and the A350 wide-body long-haul business class product, so I'm curious to see what it's like inside Europe. So let's head to the airport. Here we are at Heathrow Terminal 3, which has this rather useful screen outside to let you know where your check-in desk will be. You can just make out the Finnair logo under the letter C. Finnair's check-in desk is actually open all day, so if you've got nothing better to do, then getting to the airport and checking out the multiple lounges is a reasonable idea. Next up, I was through the fast-track immigration line and then into the lounge. As Finnair is a member of the One World Alliance, a business ticket with them will get you into any of the other One World business class lounges, including the Qantas Lounge, which is shared with their first and business passengers. The highlight of the downstairs section is this gin bar, which includes this South Australian green ant gin. These blurry little things are actually green ants harvested from the Northern Territory, and according to the internet, Indigenous peoples love them for their medicinal benefits and protein content. It tasted unique, mostly like gin, with ants in it, and I've actually since bought some back in Australia, which sells for about $100 a bottle. Next up, I was into the showers to freshen up before what was going to be 2 full days of flying back to Sydney. After that, I went upstairs and continued exploring. There's a reasonable buffet available and they do offer a small a la carte menu, although that only operates 3 hours before Qantas flights, so unfortunately I couldn't order anything from that, although I'll include the full food and drinks menu at the end of the video. The centre of attention upstairs is this marble bar, and since it was the morning in my final destination in Sydney, I figured a coffee, mostly, was in order. That was followed by some food, and then I relaxed in the corner in this massive chair and enjoying this restricted view of the airport apron. Next up was a Cathay Pacific Business Lounge, which Finnair actually directs you to, although again, you're able to visit any and all of their One World business lounges. I really like the green and wooden colours Cathay use in all of their lounges throughout the world, and I'd probably say it's my most favourite lounge design or theme out of all the lounges I've visited. This also has a bar where I managed to snag another cup of coffee as well as a noodle bar. I ended up ordering the wonton noodles and soup and found a seat next to the window and waited for my flight, which I just found out had been slightly delayed. I should point out though that there is also a pretty good buffet which was regularly replenished while I was there. Eventually I took off to the gate after a little plane perving. I was surprised to see this BA A320 here, as I assumed most of their departures would be from Terminal 5. Anyway, it was some brief respite from a terminal which otherwise, to be honest, needs a bit of a refurbish. Now here's our aircraft for the trip, this 18-year-old Airbus A320-200. Boarding was called, and here's my seat, which is the standard style for short-haul business class in Europe, as it's essentially an economy seat with the middle seat blocked out. Now BA does the same sort of thing, although they at least put this little cocktail table, as they call it, over the middle seat. In this case, we just shared the space and stored a few bits and bobs there. The seat otherwise is a fairly adequate economy class seat with reasonable legroom for what is only a 2-hour and 15-minute flight. But one thing I am a really big fan of though are the individual overhead air vents, which are sadly lacking on many newer aircraft, and of course there's a decent view of the wing and engine for this little aviation nerd. Unfortunately, there's also no power plugs, which is a bit of a pity since they don't provide in-flight entertainment, although hopefully you get a chance to charge your device before the flight. There's also Wi-Fi, although unlike in the long-haul flights where business class passengers get 60 minutes for free, I had to pay for it, so I didn't bother. And speaking about Wi-Fi, I'd love for you to check out my other aviation videos and subscribe to my channel. I've already reviewed the Finnair A350, and coming up will be my review of the A330, so make sure you check those out. I'd also love for you to check me out on Instagram and Facebook. A glass of water was offered in a plastic cup, and then we backed out and headed for the runway. There was surprisingly no sparkling wine, considering it was now 4:30 in the afternoon. Heathrow is always a fantastic place for plane spotters, with this Airbus A320neo, which you'll notice has a considerably larger engine than my aircraft, and then there's this BA A319, which is just a slightly shrunken version of my aircraft. There was this kangaroo a long way from home, and a particular highlight was this very cool retro livery BA 747-400. I suspect BA will actually be one of the last legacy airlines flying the Dash 400, as many of them have already retired them and Qantas plan to retire theirs by the end of next year. Now I'll stop talking and let you enjoy the takeoff, and keep your eyes peeled for some great views over central London, and comment below if you can make out any famous landmarks. As I said before, there's no in-flight entertainment screens, so I had to provide my own. And as you may have seen with what happened on my American Airline 737 video, this time I kept the laptop in my lap and well away from the reclining seat in front. The views over the UK were quite spectacular, and not before long we were out over the channel and flew up the coastline past the Netherlands and Germany. A round of drinks and pretzels were offered, and the both of us made use of the middle seat's fold-down tray table. As the sunlight was starting to leave us, dinner was served. The starter was this perch with potato, and the main option was the grilled chicken with veggies. They tasted perfectly fine, as did the dessert, which was chocolate cake, and another round of drinks was offered, so I went with a white wine. The sun was now properly setting as we flew over Denmark and Sweden, and as usual the colours were pretty impressive. Now, as this is only a short flight, there was no amenity kit, but I do have a spare one from another flight, and I'll be giving that away to a lucky subscriber. To enter in that giveaway, make sure you give the video a thumbs up, you've subscribed to my channel, and comment below including the text amenity kit giveaway in brackets, and in 30 days I'll select a winner and mail it out. Before I knew it, Helsinki was in view and we had already started our descent. So how was the flight? Look, it was adequate for an intra-Europe business class flight. As the seat is the same as economy, but with a guarantee of an empty middle seat, it's considerably inferior to what's offered in the US and Australia in their narrow body premium classes, but this is also fairly cheap, especially when compared to business within Australia. Having said that, I got this flight booked as part of a long-haul business itinerary from London to Sydney, and otherwise I probably would never pay the extra cost of short-haul business. Now, what is really important here is that when you book these flights between Helsinki and London, you check the aircraft type, as there is a daily A350 or A330 which offers a vastly superior seat experience, as you can see here in my A350 review. The cost is the same, so unless the timing doesn't suit, it really is a no-brainer. It's a similar sort of situation between Heathrow and Madrid, with both BA and Iberia flying a single wide body between those two routes, which is a great alternative to the otherwise regular A320s or similar sized narrow body aircraft. The lounges were really good and the in-flight experience was fine. It could do with some in-flight entertainment screens, although I suppose these days most people, including myself, carry our own devices, but then power plugs would have been handy. I suppose the highlight might have been drinking some ants, which is something I haven't actually done since I was about 4 years old, but otherwise it was fine. Just remember though to book the wide-body A330 or A350 if you're flying on this route. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and check out my channel for more similar videos, including my flight later that night on board a Finnair A350 and then a Cathay 777 the following day. Thanks for watching, I'll see you another time, and coming up are the menus from the lounges, as there weren't any menus on board the flight in case you're wondering, and don't forget to enter in the giveaway.